Hello silver friends, this is Joli from QuickSilverHair, and today I am going to bust 5 of the most common gray hair myths that I hear. I hear them from hairstylists, hair chemists, hair scientists, hair care brands. I hear them circulate through the gray hair communities and support groups on Facebook, and I thought I would give it a go at the top ones that I find most concerning. The reason I find it concerning when you have a myth going is that they can influence you the wrong direction. You know, you can decide that you don't want to transition to your natural color because you might believe one of these myths. So we're going to get into that in this video. Before I get started, I wrote a blog post in 2018 and it is linked in the description box below. It covers more myths than I talk about in this video. However, the topics in this video are in that blog post. But if you want to check it out, it's in the description box below. Also in the description box below is a recent video from my friend Katie at Katie Goes Platinum on the same subject, and you can hear her thoughts and her take on this topic as well if you head over there after you watch my video. So let's get started. Myth number 1 is something you probably won't be surprised to hear. I think is complete BS, and that is that you should have short hair if you have gray hair. I don't know where this myth came from. I would imagine that it was something, kind of an old school, antiquated style rule for a mature woman to have short hair. I remember when I was in high school, I worked with a lady in a little shop in town, and she had long, beautiful, straight, natural red hair. It was down to her waist. And she turned 50 while I was working with her, and somewhere right after her birthday she went in and got a haircut. And her stylist talked her into chopping off her hair. So when she came back to work the next time, her hair was up here. We were all very surprised. Her hair looked really beautiful, but the sad thing is she instantly regretted it because it wasn't her. It didn't feel right to her. So I think really the style rule here is it should feel good to you. Whatever length your hair is should feel good. It should feel like you. And it should make you feel confident, and it should make you feel beautiful. So if you love your hair long, keep it long. If you love it short, go for it. Or if you like all of the above, shift back and forth. I like my hair short sometimes, but I like it long other times. I had a great grandmother that lived into her 90s, and until she was about 91, she wore her hair in a long silver braid that she wrapped around her head like a crown. And I think that's incredibly beautiful, and I always admired her for that. So, long hair can have also a sentimental value to you. So again, do what works for you. I don't think you should follow a rule that has absolutely no bearing or basis in anything. I mean, why is short hair better than long hair? It isn't. Myth number 1, busted. Myth number 2 is that gray hair will make you look old. I want to say right now that I have watched thousands of women being in these support groups on Facebook transition from their dyed hair to their natural silver hair, and I have never ever seen someone look older with their natural color. I actually think it softens up your skin, it brightens up your eyes. Most women, as they transition, the corners of their lips go up because they start smiling and they start feeling more confident. So does it make you look old? I doubt it. It makes you look more confident, and I think, that's something we should be focusing on rather than the, myth that was perpetuated by the advertising agencies to make us feel old because we weren't dyeing our hair. There are 5 colors that grow out of the human head: black, brown, red, blonde, and white. It's a natural color that we naturally produce. Well, we don't produce the pigment so it turns white, but you get what I'm saying. And think about it. If we took all of the white animals, for instance, that grew white hair to the salon and dyed them, you can see where I'm going. That's totally ridiculous. So myth number 2, busted. Myth number 3 is the one that I scream at the most. Every time I see this one, I'm like, no, that's not true. And that is that gray hair is more coarse. The fact is that your hair type, your hair texture is your hair texture, no matter what color it is. If you have fine hair, you have fine hair. And if you have fine hair while you're dyeing it, it will be fine when it's silver. If you have coarse hair when you're dyeing your hair, you will have coarse hair when you quit dyeing your hair. It's about the actual diameter of the hair strand, and that doesn't change when you stop dyeing your hair. It may change a little bit because you don't have that pigment anymore, or maybe the cuticle's not as roughed up from the dye. But the fact is that coarse and fine are your hair type, and that is your hair type. You may find as you age, which is true, that your hair gets finer and thinner. But as I ditched the dye, I noticed that my hair got softer and silkier, and it feels like silk, you know? I mean, it is very soft. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things I struggle with my curl retention is it is so soft that, you know, by the end of a wash day, you know, fresh wash day, my curl has started to fall out. And that's just the way it goes with really soft hair. But all gray hair being coarse, not true. Myth busted. Myth number 4 is that you should change out all of the colors in your wardrobe and your makeup. I don't think that that's necessarily true. It can be if you were wearing the wrong colors for your skin tone and you were matching your hair. For instance, I used to wear beige because I had dyed my hair red and that looked okay. But I cannot wear beige anymore. It just washes me out and I kind of disappear. I just don't like the way it looks and I don't feel confident in it. I feel like I am invisible. You should be matching your makeup and your clothing to your skin tone, which for the most part in my closet, I was doing that. I was wearing jewel tones already because that was what looks best with my cool skin tone. I did not really throw out much makeup at all. I kept most everything I had, and I still enjoy wearing most of the colors that I was wearing. I think I kind of shied away from, you know, like my brown eyeliner and some of my brown palette as far as eyeshadow went, but I probably could still get away with that and it would look fine because I was matching my skin tone and my eye color. But you want to be careful here. It's kind of this myth isn't really true or false. It just depends on what you were doing with your clothes and your makeup before and what you need to do to adjust later. A lot of women with silver hair find that they want to up their lipstick game a little bit and pick kind of bolder, more saturated colors in like the pink and red zones. So I think that's a lot of fun. I didn't really wear a lot of lipstick before I went to silver, but I am finding that I do like a little bit bolder colors. I still have, you know, my threshold. If it's really bold and really out there, I just feel self-conscious. So, you know, kind of play with that and see what feels the best to you and what makes you feel your most beautiful. So that myth, I would say it's not really totally busted, but it could be. Anyway. Myth number 5 is something that I see stylists and associates in beauty supply stores. This is their automatic and go-to answer if you have silver hair, and that is that you need purple shampoo. You do not need purple shampoo if you have silver hair all the time, and you don't always need it at all. I rarely use purple shampoo, and occasionally I use a purple conditioner that I fell in love with from Loma when I did have an issue with yellowing. The only time you actually need purple shampoo is when you have a permanent form of yellowing. I go into full detail into when you need purple shampoo in a video that I'll link here. But I think this myth kind of gets, it's like a default answer that you have silver hair, so you need purple shampoo and conditioner. But in reality, it is really about neutralizing yellow tones. And if you can remove those yellow tones, like with the QuickSilverHair mask, then you should try that so you don't have to use something that can dry your hair out, that you can have issues with actually tinting your hair lavender or purple. There's a lot of people that don't want that to happen, so they don't like using those products. And I also see in like the support groups and stylists again, that if you're transitioning to your gray hair and you still have dyed hair, the automatic answer when you ask what shampoo you should use is purple shampoo. And that is not true either. If you haven't experienced any of this permanent yellowing yet, then you don't need a tinted shampoo. And I think that when you are transitioning, The better thing to focus on is your conditioning levels. So you want your hair to be really conditioned and really well moisturized and nourished. That's more important because then your hair will be healthier and less susceptible to the damages that can come permanently from heat and sun. Anyway, so myth number 5, busted. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already to my channel, please do so now so that I can see you next time. Until then, shine on.